Hello and welcome back to Cast On, a knitting podcast where I talk about my finished objects, my whips, some yarn acquisitions and some more knitting things. My name is Ellie, I am from Austria and this is episode number 36. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. I hope you're all doing well. The temperatures have dropped fast. So we've had our first snow this week actually, and yeah, that means more sweaters. I am bundled up here on my sofa because it is so cold, and I am wearing my Moby sweater. I absolutely love this piece. I do really want to make another one. I don't know when. Don't know when I'll have the time, but this is probably my favourite sweater that I've made so far. Today I have 2 finished objects and a couple of whips, so I would say we should just get straight into it. I have a finished object and I'm so proud of it. I'm really happy how it turned out. I finished it last night, so I did not have the time to block it or anything and weave in the ends, so it's all a bit of a mess, but it is my Kerr sweater by Clow. Last time I only had one sleeve left, and the sleeve, really, I finished that in 2 days. So it's really fast and I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like I said, I've not blocked it yet. I'm gonna see how the yarn reacts, but the colour work is really even. There's no puckering, also none on the sleeves, which is really good because I've had troubles with that in the past, but I feel like now I've really found a good spot with my colour work to avoid those things. So this is what it looks like. I have a really nice folded over collar, and I would say I would like to have made the bottom a little bit longer. I think when I'm wearing it, this here looks a bit short before the ribbing. When I tried it on before I started the rib, it looked okay. It's not as if it's too short or anything. It just hits my hip bone, kind of at an ideal place, but it does look a bit strange, at least to me. I don't know. So I'm really happy with this project. I would highly recommend this pattern. It looks so good, and I do kind of want to have it in a red as well, like she has it on one of her pattern pictures. But for now I'm gonna keep my grey one because it's just absolutely pretty. For the yarn, I've talked about this yarn a million times now because I've started this project a while ago as well. This is Ferner Lambswool first cut. It's a merino, 100% merino wool from Austria. You get 140 meters. This is what the label looks like, and the grey is 1 LW for Lambswool, 1004. And the white is 1001. Let me just take a sip of tea because my voice is really rough right now. Okay, I absolutely love this yarn. I think I've raved about it in every single episode when I talked about the project, but I truly love it. I'm so happy that I found it, and this is all I have left of the grey. So it was fairly close, so I couldn't have made the body any longer if I wanted to. I think I'm pretty sure I didn't measure the body to make sure I have the correct length. I made size 3 because I wanted it a bit bigger, and for my bust size that was just the best fit and the fit that I wanted. So this is all I've left of the grey, which is really good because that means I have barely any leftovers. And for the white, it's this. I have to wind it up or something, but it's also not a lot. I thought maybe with this, depending on how much it is, I could make like a mini scarf if there's not enough left of this, then it will just go in my scrap stash and go into, I don't know, a hot water bottle cover, which are all the rave about again, or something like that. I don't know. But the yarn is really, really affordable, and I will definitely buy more because working with this was fantastic. And when I put this on for the first time, it felt incredible. It's not itchy at all. It's also not super rustic, but you do know, because of the smell and the feel, that it is wool, which is really nice. It's also a very round yarn and with not a lot of like fibers sticking out, so the itch factor for me is 0. I'm really happy with this project, like I said, and would definitely recommend the pattern. I think it's very well written. She has different charts in it included, depending on if you have the colour worked in a light colour or a dark contrast colour, and she also has the same, and if you want a thinner strip of colour work, she also has the same there. So that was my first finished object, and the second one is, you might have guessed it already, a sock. I am frantically making Christmas presents, and one of those is, or mostly all of them are socks, should I say. So I finished the first one for my mum. This is what it looks like. I think it looks really, really cute. I absolutely love the colours. This is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply, signature 4-ply in the colour Robin. I got this from England. I've got 2 balls of it, so I decided to make my family and me matching Christmas socks. So everyone will get a different colour for the heel, toe and cuff, and for my mum it's going to be white. She's only one size bigger in shoe size for the European sizes than me, so she's a 39, I'm a 38. So I actually did not have to make this that much longer to what I normally make my socks. So it's kind of good because I can try it on and see if it fits nicely or not, because if not, then I know it won't fit my mum either. So this is the first finished object of the pair, so you could, I'm counting it as a finished object even though you still need a second one. But talking about whips, since we are already now in this section, this is the second sock. I'm pretty much done with the leg. I just have to do the toe. I need to count the rows because I need to check, even though you can count on the stripes, how many you did because they're matching. If you are on the correct amount of rows, but sometimes I think the colours are a bit, the sections in the yarn are a bit different to what I've done before, so I just need to count the rows and check that before I start with the toe. So that's super exciting to have kind of the first Christmas gift of the needles. Still have quite a lot left, so I can definitely start my brother's sock from this one as well. He's got bigger feet, so we'll see how much I will have left after his socks, but I think I can get his socks out of this as well. So let's put this back in here, have it in my nice project bag. This is a great travel project, and I take this with me kind of anywhere I go, especially to work, and yeah, really, really nice and easy. And speaking about socks, in my loop bag I have another pair of socks. So I'm making a pair for a friend of mine. he asked if I could make him some Christmas socks as well, so I said yes. This time I'm also using a yarn that I bought from England, but I've not worked with this before, and it's really nice, I have to say. This is Aloe Sockwool, 75% wool superwash, 25% polyamide. This is a bit of a thinner sock yarn. You need 2.5 to 3mm needles, and it's from Hjertegarn. I showed this before. This is what it looks like, and this is colour 10, and it knits up really nicely. I really like the colour, so I might have to make my own pair as well. This is what it looks like. Isn't this just gorgeous? So for all of these socks, I'm making just the standard vanilla socks with a slip stitch heel. I'm just using the Crazy Sock Lady's tutorial that she's got on YouTube. Really nothing fancy or special, because I just can knit in the round really fast, and I don't have to like faff around with pearls, even though for a ribbed sock they might fit better for the foot, especially for people where you don't know if or where you've not made a sock before and you don't know if it will actually fit with what you're making. So this time I cast on 64 stitches for a bigger size, and I already finished joining in the round, and I'm just now on the leg and just knitting straight. I am using my 2.5 pony needles. These are the plastic needles I got from England again, because I wanted to start with this sock as well, so I have multiple socks going at the same time and don't have to, if I'm like stuck on one sock because I need to go home and do the, I don't know, heel flap and gusset and stuff in piece and heel turn, then I can at least work on the other sock. So that is why I cast this on with these needles. I have to say they're not my favourite. I've never worked with plastic needles before, so this is a first for me. And they are okay. It took me a little bit of time to get used to them because they are very bendable. They are not my Chiago needles, which are metal needles, so they don't bend, and they're also sharper at the tip. These are quite blunt. They snag a little bit on the yarn as well, and like I just showed you, they bend quite a lot. So I just did have to get used to it, but now it's fine. I think I'm just a bit worried that the gauge is different on the leg than it is on the calf. We'll just have to see. I mean, they are socks. At least that's my point of view. They're socks. They're not super, they don't have to absolutely mold to the foot. If they're a bit too loose, then that's also fine, because whenever you wash socks, they kind of felt a little bit in the wash, even though it is super wash and stuff like that. But quite often, I mean, I wash my handmade socks in the normal washing machine with all of the other clothes, and the first try on there are always a bit snug, but then they stretch out with the wears. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going with this sock. This will take me a while now because the person has very big feet. But yeah, I'm excited to have this project now at a state where I can take this now on the train to work and keep the other one until I find the time to do the toe, which is exactly what I wanted and what I said at the beginning, that I always want to have one project that I can actively work on, where I don't have to think about or need a video beside me, where I'm like, okay, now I'd have to do the toe decreases, etc. So this goes in here, and these were my Christmas projects that are on the go, which is really good because we only have well, it's the first when you are watching this video, so we have 24 days left to finish these socks and stuff. I have one more project that I've really worked on. I have still quite a few projects lingering around, like the Christmas jumper I showed last time. I will get around to making the sleeves for that, but the yarn is just so rough on my finger that it starts really digging into it and bruising it almost. So I have to be careful, and I put that on the side again. Anyway, so this project is the Tuku by the Petite Knitter, and I have a finished yoke, and I've now started on the body. It looks so good. I am really happy with how this turned out. I am using woolly knit 100% British wool on the cones. It's their 4-ply. I'm holding a double in cinnamon brown and their white, and I think it just looks fantastic. I'm really happy with the last colour work portion because there's absolutely no puckering. There's a little bit of puckering at the top here with the last chart, or the chart before, but this one, oh, it looks so good. I've not tried it on yet, I have to say. It seems fairly wide. I am a petite person. I like oversized things, but this might be a bit too oversized. Where is the side? Let's try this again. Yeah, it's quite wide. My gauge is always different in the colour work because I'm so worried about having puckering that my row gauge is wider in my colour work than it is on my normal single coloured standard stockinette portion, and you can definitely see that as well here. It's also a lot neater. But yeah, I've been working on this kind of on and off. I had a knit night last week, and I took this project with me. I took my sock with me, which I finished there, and I think I pretty much knit all of this at that event. It does drag, I have to say. I found out I am not a huge fan of just knitting plain stockinette. I need engagement. I need something to happen. I'm really craving cables, which we'll come to in a minute, some future plans and projects and stuff, but this is just going to take me forever. It is mindless, yes, but at the same time it's so boring. Like, I lose interest so fast with these projects because I kind of finished the difficult parts, the part where I need to think and to be engaged and involved in the project. Now, this might seem a bit ironic because I always say I'm just gonna breeze through kind of the difficult parts and then I can just focus on the stockinette because it's mindless, I don't have to think, but it's so boring. And I don't want to pick up this project anymore because I know there's just nothing happening and the body is going to take me a while because I've only done this much so far and the circumference is just massive. So I'm a bit down with this project. I will still keep working on it, of course, because I love it and I really want to wear it, especially now seeing how good it looks in the viewfinder. But it's going to take me a while, which is a problem because that's how whips end up in the corner, kind of laying around and just being not forgotten but being in hibernation, let's put it that way. I do still would recommend, that was not the right word order, I would still recommend the pattern. I think it's a very nice pattern. The repeats are fairly long with colour work with this one, but the results are so worth it, and you do get the hang of it eventually. I'm not sure if I want to keep the collar as it is. Again, I've not tried it on yet, so I don't even know how it looks like. The yoke also is quite deep, so I'm gonna have a bit of a back wing situation, which is kind of expected with round yokes, but not my favourite. And one thing I have to say, which I'm really sad about, is that this does not have any short rows. You have optional short rows if you have a bigger bust, but I wanted the short rows to be in the back because I have absolutely nothing at the front here. So I'm just gonna have to see how this looks once it's completely finished, if it will like choke me at the front and then be gapey at the back, as those type of sweaters usually do. Yeah, I'm a bit sad about this because I think this would just be an easy fix for a better fit, but it is what it is. I could have added the short rows myself, but because I'm not super advanced with short rows, adding them after the colour work and stuff like this, I'm not too familiar with that kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it. So we'll see how it fits in the end, if it will be a little bit problematic with the fit because of that, but bear that in mind if you do want to cast this on. Okay, now we're at the acquisition part. I do have some acquisitions, but they're not yarn. I thought I was on a buying ban, but at the same time, for certain Christmas projects that I want to make, I don't have the right yarn, so I might have to go to the yarn shop. Anyways, that's not the point right now. I do have some acquisitions, and I would say the most exciting ones are these. I got myself Petite Knit's new project bags. This is a first for me. People absolutely love these things, and I wish I bought the other ones earlier. They are fairly expensive, in my opinion, but at the same time I know this is really good quality. She also has on the label the what it is. So it's a cotton bag, organic cotton, and it is made in socially responsible facilities, ensuring health and fair working conditions. So it does, I do know why it's so expensive. I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining at all, but I'm just saying it is a fairly pricey thing, but I still wish I got the ones before because of the patterns, because they are limited editions and they don't bring the fabrics back. But I got this one, and it's got these really nice blue flowers. The bag itself, I got the smaller size, which is more than enough for me. The reason why so many people love this is because of its sturdiness. It holds its shape, and you can kind of knit straight out of the bag. You do have some compartments in it as well. This is what it looks like from the inside. I'm not too fussed about those because I never use these things. I've made the project bag that I have so far, I've made them all, and I do have some like compartments in some of them, but I really don't use them. I feel like they're a bit useless, but I know some other people really like them, so it's kind of just a bonus to have them. But yeah, I got the smaller size, really happy with it. I'm gonna try it out and see how I find it, but just from the feel of it, it feels really high quality. It also looks really nicely made, as from a sewer's perspective, I think I can say that, because I know how things are supposed to look, all nice and even and stuff. And I am a bit cautious with what I put into this bag, because I don't want to ruin it. I don't want anything to happen. I don't want it to like have any stains. So, but I know it's a bag, like I need to use it for its intended use. We'll see what I'm gonna put in this. So that was the really exciting bit, and the other ones I got are some buttons, also from Petite. These are the 4 pieces with a diameter of 25 millimeters, and you also get like a little label at the back here, which is pretty cool. So I got these buttons because I am making the Ava cardigan right now. I've not worked on this any more so far. I will get back to it, but I thought that these would be a good fit because the fabric is a nice beigey brown, and I thought these buttons would look nice on it. And since these buttons are specifically for the Ava cardigan, I thought I would just treat myself, because I have a really hard time finding these kind of buttons that are not from Petite Knit, but that they have the same look. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I went to lots of fabric shops and they didn't have buttons that look like this. Anyways, so that was the most exciting bit that I got. I also got something that is not knitting related but sewing related, so if you're interested then thank you, if not then that's fine as well. It is made to measure, an easy guide to drafting and sewing a custom wardrobe. I got this book as a pre-order, and it's by Elisalex, Jewell. I don't know if that is correct, but they are from the company By Hand London. I've got a couple of patterns from this company. I really like them. I think they're very versatile and customizable, and I wanted to get their book because specifically for the drafting portion that they have in it. So if you want a new sewing book that kind of covers these things, you can look into this one. So those were all of the things that I got since last time. I do have a few more things, or one thing should I say, coming, which is knitting related, but we'll see when that arrives. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but I hope that it does come super fast because I need it. Anyways, so I thought I could talk to you a little bit about my upcoming projects or plans that I have, because I'm a bit in a slump, I have to say, with knitting. I'm a tiny bit overwhelmed with the projects, not only that I have going on, but also what I would like to cast on in the not too distant future. Now bear in mind, I am no Inga, I am no Aro from Aro Knits and Pearls. I am just me, and I'm not a super fast knitter, so I can't just bang out 5 garments in every single episode. As you probably have noticed, a lot of the projects are or have been going on for several months now, and I'm really sorry because I don't want to show you the same things over and over again, or maybe with just a tiny bit of progress, but I also don't want to overwhelm myself and cast on so many new projects that I won't finish any of them. So with that in mind, I do crave cables. I need cables in my life, so I thought for a new project that I could start would be good to try the Dornie sweater by Rebecca Clow. I know I just finished a pattern of hers, but I also really like the Dornie. I think I have almost every pattern that she's ever released. The Dornie is an overall cable knit design, and I really liked her original sample, which is in a nice caramel colour. So I've got these two yarns. I've got the marble from World of Wool. I got this last year when I was in the north of England, in Yorkshire. I actually went to their factory, which was pretty cool. So this is 80% merino wool, 20% silk in a DK weight, and you get 110 meters per 50 grams in the color sandalwood. It's a really nice light caramel color, kind of orange, but at the same time brown. And I thought this would be paired nicely with this mohair. This is Lana Tilia, my all-time favorite mohair so far, in the color 363. I believe this is also called caramel or camel or something like that. So I thought that these two would be good together. Now I don't know when I'm gonna cast the sweater on. I do want a new project, something a bit more engaging, since I cast off the Kerr sweater, but at the same time I really need to focus on my socks first. But yeah, this is kind of a plan that could work out if I have the time. But yeah, apart from that, there is nothing really that jumps out to me at the moment of like one project where I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I've been craving, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I do have a few projects which I still really want, but I just don't feel like casting on right now, like the Ingrid sweater. I know this would be also kind of helping me with that craving of needing texture at the moment, but at the same time I've made so many oversized sweaters lately that I want something a bit less oversized, a bit less work in terms of circumference, and potentially just stocking it in the round bodies which is why I need something cabled, something textured, and I think the Dornie would be a great project to start to help me with that. Apart from the Dornie, I do need to make some accessories. I don't want to make the Sophie scarf and shawl. I have the yarn for those two projects as well. You can check out my England video from last week if you want to know more about the yarn, because I already talked about it then. And those are kind of quick projects and on-the-go projects, so I'll probably cast those on fairly soon as well, because I need something on my neck because it's cold, it's freezing now. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. This is kind of everything that I have to talk about today. I know it can be a bit boring because I don't have so many projects that I've also actively worked on to show, and any exciting projects or finished objects, but I still hope you enjoyed chatting with me, or me having on in the background, and you hopefully knitting or crafting or crocheting or whatever you're doing at the same time when you watch my videos. And yeah, check out my England video if you're interested. I will come back with a podcast video in 2 weeks. If you've not voted on if I should do a Vlogmas this year or not, you should go to the community tab. The survey is still open, so you can still vote on there if you haven't already, and I'm gonna go from there for Vlogmas. So I hope you have a good day, week, weekend, whenever you're gonna watch this, and all of your projects are going well, all of your Christmas gift knitting is going well. Don't stress yourself out about this. I know this is a huge thing every year, and a lot of people say that, but I truly mean it. I don't want you to be burned out. Think about your own health, mental health, physical health with your wrists and fingers and all of that stuff. And hopefully gonna see you next time. Bye!